Hello, beautiful people. How are we doing today? Hope you're having a lovely day today. We've got something special for you. Ark stepped out for a moment. But if you didn't know, I play in a Power Rangers actual play, live play, over on the initiative order every second and fourth Monday, where I play the Red Ranger, Peter Hentz. Now, I was unable to make the last session due to travel and sickness and all this shenanigans. And so, Ark had planned that Peter had gotten thrown back in time. My character had gotten thrown back in time. And then we were like, well, what if instead of just like showing back up, being all like, hey, what's up? We did that one shot. And we showed what happened to Peter as he was thrown back in time. And so that is what we're going to do today. Tonight on stream. It's a very special one-shot Power Rangers stream. How is the audio? For those of you who are here and not just lurking, how is the audio? Does it sound all right? Because I'm trying something new today. I've got some music playing underneath, and then when Ark comes back, we'll have to test that. Great, sounds good. Cool. Yeah, if you didn't know, there is a Power Rangers tabletop RPG system, and it is so much fun to play. I'm really excited. I've been playing it now for I think like 6 months. 6 months? I don't know. When Ark gets back, I'll ask. Oh, there they are. Ark, Ark, just so you know, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Awesome.
Yeah, so it happened right after you left. How long have we been playing Arcaknights?
We've been playing Arcaknights since the beginning of this year.
Yeah,
right around February.
So nearly 10 months at this point. Almost 9. Yeah, about 9 months. I was just giving a little background on our one shot for today. That I wasn't able to make a session, and then you threw my ass back in time.
Well, I gotta explain where you went somehow.
Yes, this is true. This is very true. Well, then I'm gonna hand the reins over to you, Ark. So why don't you take us away?
Alrighty. So, in the last episode that we had seen Peter Hentz, our red Arcanite Ranger, he had received a key made from a magical notebook and a sliver of copper wire. He was then charmed by the Phantom Ranger's familiar, Chauffon, to use that key to open a doorway behind one of the library book shelf-like areas within the Arcanium Plexus, the power chamber or command center for the Arcaknights. Upon opening it, he discovered a large magical seal on the back wall. Once Peter had placed his hand to that wall, a flash of gold and black energy had folded over his form, pulling him through there. And that's all that Peter was aware had happened.
Yeah.
After the lights had pulled and the separation through time, that distorted presence of oneself being either one step too far forward or one step too far back, you found yourself in a heavily wooded area. You saw a female knight ahead of you, bearing a striking resemblance to your mother, and another knight to the far right that is Flamel, the former leader of the Arcaknights when you had first joined. As Flamel yells out to the female knight, "I'm unaware of where the other Arcaknights have gone, but something has brought someone else here." As he turns, and you can see this like silvered staff twisted with like fine hollowed oak and smoke ash wood within it, goes and points it towards you.
Hi. Where are we?
The female knight turns and looks at you, and for a second, they steel themselves, but you could see there's hesitation. And she says, "Roger, what are you doing here?"
That's my dad. I'm Peter, his son.
Again, that steeled against the nerves of You shouldn't be here.
I know
The
that.
helmet moves out of the way, and you see your mother's face.
I have so many questions. But it looks like we're busy right now.
And you fight.
And I'll quick morph and just kind of like have the dragon spear in my right hand and be like, better than you think.
As you morph, you see the armor disappear off of your mother.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like pulled over to you, forming the red Arcanite Ranger form, as she still holds a blade in one hand.
Well, this is a problem.
Well, at least I know you'll be safe.
Well, what about you, though?
The snarl of a large dragon flies over the top of the battlefield.
Jesus.
This bright crimson red with a familiar marking on the back portion of the tail as it flies past.
Oh, it's Ignis. Right?
Cinder,
Cinder. Oops. Cinder.
we need to go back to Camelot. We'll let the others handle the fight that's occurring here. Your mother yells out,
Cinder.
and you see this large red dragon then land in front of the three of you.
He is
And-
a lot bigger than he is in my phone.
Is like lost between who to answer to.
Do I need this right now, or do you want this back?
I think it's safer for you to have it right now. I've been here a little bit longer.
I suppose.
There's other sets of armor I can wear back at Camelot. Let's go.
Okay. And Peter will follow behind.
You see as Flamel moves over towards Cinder, places a hand on the top of his head, and says, I will send for Philo. You can take them. And just kind of bows ahead a little bit deeper, and then you are now flying through the Sherwood Forest above verdant green pinnacles of trees until you see the grand castle Camelot.
So how long have you been here, Mom?
She like grabs the back of your head and is
Ow.
like, you are not supposed to be here.
I know that. I know that. I was tricked by a cat, and now I'm here.
I wish that was the strangest thing I've heard.
No, it was the Phantom Ranger's cat. Apparently, I'm supposed to learn something, probably.
Like loosens the grip onto the hair, kisses your forehead. Well, whatever it is you need to learn, I'll help you.
And then you're gonna come back with me, right?
No answer.
All right.
The dragon, the full-formed Cinder, moves over the top of Camelot, coming to rest in the center courtyard within the walls of the castle as your mother disembarks off and leads you to a room off of the courtyard in the far left corner.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the markings of Flamel, like his handwritings,
Mhm.
his scribings on the outside of the door.
Okay.
And as she approaches, she takes a spell book out from under her arm, opens it in front of there. The runes glow red as she then opens the door for the two of you to step inside.
Okay.
As you
follow.
As you follow behind her, this is the Arcanium Plexus. This small little space that you would have assumed to be roughly about the size of like a small garage maybe, is the vastness and depth of the Arcanium Plexus at a 1-to-1 scale
Okay.
within.
This is at least familiar.
This is familiar.
Yeah, we have one of these in my time.
You guys moved to England when I left, or
No, it's in Angel Grove.
I want the fastest summary you can give me.
Okay. So, started college. It is what it is. And like first day, we got split into these groups, fell down this big hole, found the Arcanian plexus. Then there was this guy, the guy with the staff,
Merlin.
Merlit, I suppose. He was like, "You're the Rangers now," and then we became Rangers because we had to fight the Dread Hollows. And so we had to fight, the Chimera Ranger and this like horse guy, and then this fairy lady, and a whole bunch of these guys. And things have been crazy. Things have been wild. Dad's been turned into a Psycho Ranger or a Necro Ranger, which is a whole thing. I almost destroyed everything. But things have been, and then the Phantom Ranger showed up, and he's been kind of messing everything up. He's honestly the one who turned Dad into, and Peter's just gonna keep going and keep like just sputtering out information.
There's like an acceptance of each sentence, then an attempt to process it as the next sentence sends her further down this like
Yeah,
spiral of information.
he just word vomits everything that's happened over the past. I think it's been a few months essentially.
Yeah.
Of everything, like the evil teacher, and she's really mean on my papers and everything like that. But like she's a villain, which is like totally not. And like he's just because he hasn't seen his mom in years, and so he's just word vomiting everything about what has occurred. I think he's light on the details of his kind of villain arc. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned the facing the Chimera, and she turns a page on her spell book, and you see Mordred or Nico.
Yeah.
Standing there.
That guy.
And then at the mention of the horse guy, the centaur, turns the page, and you see Hesius and Rowan side by side. And Rowan is like full dark form.
Yeah.
In this presentation.
Okay, so Rowan, good guy. That guy, not good guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turns another page. Morgana Le Fay stands where Yamaya to be.
Yamaya, bad one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shows Merlin again. You called him something else.
What did I call him?
You called him Flamel.
But yeah,
because that's what you knew.
Yeah,
you know him as.
That's what he calls himself to us. Also, he's kind of dead-ish ghost.
She moves through another series of books and starts drawing them out. Again, books that you've seen in the Arcanian plexus. One of them has Flamel's name on it. Open the pages and it says scribed by Merlin within. But the handwriting is Flamel's the whole way through.
So is it like a pseudonym?
Same
fake name?
Same person.
Yeah. Why does he not call himself Merlin then for us?
The stories of King Arthur have always said that Arthur was a young English boy who drew a sword from a stone and became king and led a council of warriors, and the stories, legends, myths, factual, historical evidence. I am Arthur here.
Okay, I mean that's cool. That's cool. That's pretty cool, right? How did you get here? How did you end up back in time? That's mom. That's where I'm. You just left Dad and I to come here, or were you taken?
We went to Turtle Bay Cove when you were 8 years old, and we were swimming, and I saw something in the water.
Yep.
I went and contacted some of the research personnel at the college and said, "Hey, there's something down there. Should we take a look at it? Should we be involved with it?" Uh, and you're starting to get those like
Yeah.
traces back. You knew your mom was a teacher, but
Yeah.
you didn't know where your mom was a teacher at.
Right.
You knew your mom was involved with like history and things of that nature, but never like, I'm 8 years old. My mom's a college professor with a doctorate in,
Right. Right. I knew my mom
mom's
was a teacher. That was about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They afforded her some equipment, and she dove down to the bottom of Turtle Bay Cove, found Excalibur, and it sent her back in time. Is essentially what she explains to you. She left a note because everybody knows all the crazy things that happen in Angel Grove.
Mm-hmm.
You could find a random book and now your car is talking to you.
Right.
There's dinosaur bones out here that become giant robot vehicles that walk through the streets. So she left a note like, "Hey, I don't know what might happen,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going on this research expedition."
Right.
And then never came back.
Right.
And now you are aware she found Excalibur and it sent her back in time.
Okay. All right. That's a lot. You've missed a lot. So what is happening here? What was that battle you were just in?
And then she now gives you the
TLDR.
she's only been here a year.
A year.
A year. She appeared with Excalibur in her hand. The other knights who were out looking and searching for Excalibur came across her. They consulted Merlin. Merlin stated, "This is exactly who is supposed to have the sword. They are who are going to help us defeat the darkness." When she says the darkness, a page turns over on her spellbook, and you see this demonic like entity made of like magma stone, sharpened teeth, two large horns coming off the top of its head.
I haven't seen that
from
one yet.
From the history of Rangers that Schrodinger had showed you, that's Dark Spectre. That is like the antithesis of the good side of the morphing grid.
Right.
Every bad group, villain, anything that has ever attempted to succeed has worked under or received power from Dark Spectre.
Okay.
In order to attempt whatever it was they were attempting.
So he's the biggest of the big bads.
Biggest of the big bads. He is the Cthulhu kind of thing. Nobody sees him. Everybody knows him.
Mm-hmm.
Mad, crazy, evil guy. Mordred attempted to take on the darkness on his own and was corrupted.
Okay.
Your mother tried to stop him. And he said, "You aren't from this time. I am. I need to save now. You can save the future." It was more of a self-sacrifice martyrdom.
Right.
As far as your mother was aware.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
That Mordred took Merlin's powers and went to go give them to Dark Spectre.
Yes.
Merlin found out about it, took Mordred's power and used it to seal Dark Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where all of that kind of went back and
Right.
forth.
Right.
The other members of her knights disappeared in the middle of the fight in the forest, and then you showed up.
Okay. Well, what do we do now?
What is it you think you need to learn?
I don't know. I've got a lot of. To be honest, I didn't want to be a ranger. I didn't want this responsibility. And seeing what it's done not only to my family and to Angel Grove and so many other people, I'll be honest, I wanted to stop all of it. All of it. And that didn't go so well. I ended up hurting people I care about. And then Schrodinger, the Phantom Ranger, showed me what I'd become. And I'd be lying to you if I said I still think that something has to change. Something in this eternal struggle that we are in because of the morphing grid and its creation in the way that its powers dealt out and the evil and the good and yada yada. Something's got to change.
She takes your hands. If you could change one thing about becoming a ranger, and not that you became one, what would it be?
That it was my choice. It wasn't destiny. It wasn't fate. It wasn't some otherworldly force inflicting its will on people. That it was my choice to take up this, and like he'll have his version of Excalibur, I guess.
Do you raise Caliburn?
I guess Caliburn.
Because that's the version
yeah,
you have
like
right now.
that it was my choice to take up this sword and this armor and this title and to put my life and the life of my friends and my family at risk every single day. That it was my choice, not some wizard from 600 years ago or some ephemeral force. I think it should be a choice.
But you chose to become a ranger again after what had happened before, like relaying back to you the information you had relayed to her of everything.
Yeah, because I know without me, the team would be in trouble. Like they probably are now. And
so do you wish that you knew more? Do you wish that there was more information given? Do you wish there was, like, this came with an instruction manual or something?
When the grimoire was first offered to me, or not even offered, because we really didn't have a choice because we were being attacked by skeletons. That it's that all of this, the Power Rangers, all of this, it's beyond maintaining the balance. That there was a reason for it, beyond taking up the mantle of someone else's fight. A fight that was started, I don't even know how long ago, by somebody else. And we have to pay the sins and pay the price for it. That my mom wouldn't have gotten taken from me. That my dad wasn't turned into a monster. That my best friends aren't, however many years in the future right now, putting their lives at risk. it's unfair, but it's the responsibility that was given to me, and so I'm going to see it till the end.
I've been away from you for so long, and it feels almost unnecessary to give you the parental adage of life isn't fair, especially being away as long as I have, that I can see now. But just like you said, this became a responsibility that was put on to me, whether through my own curiosity or fate or the weave. And what if that is what led to you having to have that responsibility now?
And some
Would you blame me?
No, because you didn't start this.
But we're involved now.
Right. We're collateral damage now.
We're only collateral damage if we don't make a difference. And do you think you're not making a difference?
I want to make a difference. I want to put a stop to it. That's the quiet part out loud for me, Mom. Is that I want to be the last Red Ranger. I want to be the final one to have to put their lives at risk against the darkness. I want the cycle to stop. I don't want a town have to have constant protections up because they know next week on Saturday there's gonna be a monster attack.
And what if you can't guarantee that you'll be the last one? What would you leave for the one to take the mantle after you?
The means to do what I couldn't.
What's that?
To unbalance the scale. To put darkness back in its box where it belongs, for it to never return. And if that means I got to get a little dirty, I'll get a little dirty. And the more I talk about this is what I need to learn, Mom. Because this path is either going to lead me to win the day with my friends and everything's going to be great and everything's going to be fine, or this path is going to lead me to what Schrodinger showed me. Where that my cynicism will be proved right. And I will take things into my own hands. And by doing so, destroy everything. And I don't want to.
She dismisses the armor off of you and replaces it back onto herself. It says, "Let me show you the difference I've made."
Lead the way.
She takes your hand. She leads you out of Merlin's workshop into the courtyard. And from the courtyard, up a set of stairs to like an upper balcony outside. And she shows you a training ground area just off the side of Castle Camelot. There's still like small defensive barriers around it, but it's not the reinforced kind of space.
Mm-hmm.
You see a slew of squires, of handmaiden, of friars, of knights, warriors. Roll streetwise for me.
Ooh. Of course, I can do that. Streetwise. See. That is a natural 20 on the D20.
Ooh.
And then a 2 on the D2.
I love this. You can see a group of 5 that are training with like fencing foils that are doing Anakin's behind the back flared rotation
The
into
Obi
the
Annie.
front over. You see some of the friars are being taught like advanced phalanx, like ancient Spartan flanking maneuvers, shield walls, things of that nature. You're seeing all of the cool like war tactics and combat capabilities of like the movies you watched with your mom and dad as a kid, the books and wars and stories that your mom would read and your dad would discuss with her, like all of these different things in medieval Camelot. You're watching one guy you're almost certain just did an entire like Wing Chun combo against the stone wall of the castle itself.
Mm-hmm.
The people down there don't live past this. When Camelot gets taken several years from now, the people who lived here, who served here, who were a part of the everyday means of this castle were spared no mercy. And they didn't ask for that. And so I spend every day making sure that they're instructed in any possible way to defend themselves that even remotely crosses my mind. Because then even if I can't change the outcome, I know that I still did everything I could to give them the best possible chance. Would it be better if I were to just lay them all, bury them with respects, send gold and property to their families, knowing that 3 years from now the same would be done, but their families would receive nothing?
You see, like, Peter is, like, staring down at all of these different things and, like, listening to what his mom says, and his head tilts at, like, when she says, done everything I could have done. I'm like, but you haven't done everything you could have done. Because what if, Mom, right now, you were given the chance, the shot, it was put in your hands to save these people 3 years from now? To save everyone.
At what cost?
What does the cost matter at in the exchange for millions of lives?
The billions that still could have been interacted with. The millions that came before them. I'm not saying that you're wrong. If I could leave here with you right now and go back home, I'm not sure how happy your father would be, but
He's a monster presently, so he's probably not going to be happy regardless.
I would love for that. But I'm here. And you've become such an amazing, strong, powerful young man. That if I had been there, you wouldn't have become this. You wouldn't be as strong as you are. And yet you still would have been placed into this position. And you wouldn't have had the strength to say, I'm sorry to your friends, to ask for forgiveness, to see the error of the thought, but understand that the thought was worth thinking.
I understand. It just gnaws at me, Mom. There's something in me that just gnaws.
You see the large silver and white owl flying over the trees, then move over the top of Camelot as Merlin Flamel steps off. With a familiar book in his hand. And he seems hurried.
Is he like running away from us or
Landed on the top
mm-hmm.
and has not acknowledged anything of the two of you and is rushing down the stairs, a familiar book in his hands.
I think Peter wordlessly is going to like follow.
He just turned to follow.
Yeah.
If you need to rest, ask for my quarters. They'll give you a place to rest.
And there's just be like a slight head turn and nod as my eyes are locked on Merlin, and I'm gonna follow him.
He moves between the pillars on the first floor, walks completely past his workshop, and is heading for a set of stairs that descend below Camelot.
Continuing to follow.
As you continue to follow, once you get to the base of the stairs, you can see a large stone door, similar to the one that was outside the Arcanium plexus when you first had come upon it. And it's open. And inside that space, you see there are two podiums in the ground. And then this like large black decanter, like a large see-through decanter. It almost looks like a standing vase filled with ink.
I think Peter will step into the doorway and ask him, "What are you doing?"
As you step in, the door begins closing behind you.
Moving.
As at first you hear Flamel's voice. Honestly, I didn't think that we'd be having to deal with any others from the future. As the voice pulls away and you hear the Chimera, Mordred.
You just don't know when to quit. Where's Merlin?
I don't even know who you are.
and kick your ass in the future.
Any doubt. But let's entertain this thought for a moment. I can smell my magic on you. I can almost taste it. Seems you've done my bidding a few times.
We had an arrangement.
They all like to call it that. As he walks between the two stone pedestals. You can see now this blackened armor with the image and idolatry of the chimera and its varying animal parts on the different areas of armor. You see, before your mother got here, I had found a way to make Excalibur mine. And then she had it in her hand. Nonetheless, pledged my loyalty to our great commander until I could find a way to make it mine. The Fae are fickle, but absolute in their rules and laws. I give them a child, and they give me some magic. I help two brothers, and they give me a monstrosity from their world to command. I give them the greatest wizard, and they give me his book as he holds the notaria. And it seems you're nothing more or less like them. It was an agreement. It was an understanding. It was whatever it was beautiful. As he puts a hand forward towards you, and you feel a piercing from your chest. Like a rib is trying to pull its way out past your sternum. Just give me the blade. He pulls again. What would you like to do?
This whole time, have been making sure to color within the lines. Make sure I do the right thing. Because I've had to worry about other people. I've had to worry about keeping others safe. But here in this room, it's you, it's me, and I get to let loose. And I'm going to lean into the Oathbreaker.
Okay.
And I'm going to, whatever was pulling out of my chest, I'm going to yank it out myself and summon Caliburn or Excalibur, whatever it is, to my hand. And
it was Caliburn pulling through your sternum, like trying to escape you to return to its true wielder.
Right.
As you morph, the initial Arcaknight form taking, and then the punching through the grimoire, the bindings breaking, the covers folding, creating that jagged Oathbreaker paladin form to your body. And as the jacket opens off of your ranger form, you grab at your chest, and this like sickly red and black ink forms Caliburn out of your chest. And you hear your mother yell, "Peter, where are you?" before it fleets away. as the last bit of her armor joined you as the Red Arcanite at this time.
And I'm gonna rush. I guess I'm gonna rush him. Like as once,
Right.
what's his expression upon seeing this?
He's excited.
He's excited.
There isn't a twinge of fear. There isn't a loss of like, oh shit, he turned into a fucking crazy knight that's got armor that doesn't look like it's from this time, but he's got my sword.
Mhm.
He just brought my sword out. The thing I was trying to pull out of him, he pulled it out for me. So there's that like, oh, it's absolutely just me and you.
Yeah.
Kind of like that insanity of darkness has
Right.
spread over him.
Right.
So what are you doing?
So I pull Caliburn from my chest and I say, it's just you and me and I can let loose. And the Oathbreaker form appears on me. I'm gonna in a moment, in a flash, be in his face. And I'm gonna try to run him through.
Go for it. Give me that attack roll.
Okay. I have to use let's see, so that is a 16 19 total.
Misses. So as you go to, you're instantly in front of Mordred. Caliburn in your hand, you are lightning fast right in front of him. And the distance between the two of you, with you nose to nose with him, that sword should be through him,
Mm-hmm.
like with more than a foot of the blade sticking out of his back. And you can see his face is just offset of yours.
And then I guess I'll just as I miss, I will instead of going for the sword again, I'm gonna grab him by the hair and try to bring the sword to his neck.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play dirty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play dirty.
Give me a brawn roll.
Okay.
This will be with a snag.
Okay.
Only because the blade itself is like right alongside his ribs.
I misunderstood.
So under his arm.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna kind of reorient that. Like I'm gonna grab him by the hair and then bring that head to my knee. I think that's what I'll go for instead.
So just a straight brawn roll.
Okay. 14 plus 3, 17.
Misses. His toughness is a 21, so we can save
Got it.
time here. You go to grab at the hair on his head, this like oiled black, like hanging just past the shoulders hair. You get fingers interlaced between the fibers of it. And as you go to bring him down, he comes to like halfway and you can't force him down any further. And his head like 360s in the armor and looks up towards you. Come on. It's just the two of us, isn't it?
He turns to look, and then I'm just gonna switch to a boot and try to kick him in the chest.
Okay, give me that roll.
No, that's gonna miss again. Yeah, I go to kick him in the chest, and it's no good.
It catches the breastplate, and again, to add to this, his head has 360.
Right.
His body is still in atomical correct positioning. His chest is still facing the floor, but his head is looking up at you. And still, run me through. Do it.
So all of this, I think he was already angry upon seeing this, upon this guy tricking them all and everything like that, and missing attack after attack after attack, and he Peter turns down to look at his head and he goes, I would rather unmake you. And I'm going to put my hand to his head and I'm going to shatter the grid.
Okay. As you shatter the grid, you can see the fractalization of the weave that they refer to in this time. You understanding the morphing grid. The sword disappears out of your hand. The armor and everything off of your body, your hand still holding the hair, the other over his face. You could see the lines of the morphing grid move over the breastplate, over the back, down the armor of the legs, and it starts to go unsteady, like it's starting to break. It's starting to separate. When as you're go to pull your hand away, you see your mother's face.
Like the head's still turned around, but I see my mom's face.
And then you see Merlin's face. And then you see Frankie's face. And then you see Dior's face. And Marcia. And Gina. And Bone. And Damien. You see Nico. Your Nico. Not whoever this is. And then you feel the body in your hands go limp as your own face looks back at you. Color me impressed. As you see Mordred walking out from behind the ink. You really have it in you. You could kill. God, you're great.
I'm gonna kill you.
I was right to have you bring me the blade.
I'm gonna kill you.
You're gonna kill. You did. Congratulations. Now what? What do you do after killing? What do you do after death? When all that blood is on your hands, what do you do?
Where's the book?
He doesn't seem to have it in his hands.
Is it in the corpse at my feet's hands?
There looks to be the grimoire in that spellbook holster.
No, I mean the book.
The book? No.
Damn it, it's not there. Okay.
No. You become me. I just want the world to be exactly how I want it to be as well.
No, you want to control it. You want to exact darkness. I want to stop it.
By exacting light? By killing those who don't agree with you? By holding a prejudice? We're the same. We're the same. It's like you should be my son. Oh, and I'll never see the one that I gave to that fairy. But you'll do great.
I've met your son.
You hear pounding on the stone door behind you.
I'm going to stop you. We are going to stop you.
Oh, you're already me.
And unlike you, I'll let them stop me.
Oh, you will. If you wouldn't even let me talk to you. That's all I've done.
Because of what you have done in the future. What you've caused. What you're going to do.
So you're certain that I am going to be this horrendous being, this absolute purveyor of power that lords over and controls those around me, to see to it that my mechanizations for my views are created and laid out.
Yes.
God, it's like looking in a fucking mirror. I've seen the dark parts of your mind, boy.
Well, if I'm you, if it's like looking in a mirror, I'm better. You're old. I'm new.
Prove it.
Gladly. Is there an actual corpse on the ground? Like, is there a body?
At this point, looking down, there is like scuttled together pieces of armor.
Mhm.
That's a Draugr. That was a Draugr that you were just facing right there. But it had some spell over it
Right.
to make it look like it. You're not 100% sure of exactly what had occurred, but there is a shell of armor there.
Mhm.
There is what you assume to be a Draugr. The book that was placed into the holstered area isn't there on the body on the ground and isn't on Mordred in front of you.
So I'll just kind of pick up the armor of like this dead Draugr, and I'll like look to it, and then I'll look to him, and I'll say, next time, I'm not gonna miss. Next time, you're gonna feel every bit of it.
You certain of that?
I'll make sure of it.
He then opens his hand. You see a small bit of like gold chain with a little book pendant at the base of it. That then becomes the book in his hand. And he's standing next to the vase full of ink. You're absolute about that. And he starts like lowering it into the ink.
So Alec, just so Alec understands, just out of game, he's basically about to do the thing, right?
He's about to take the notaria and plunge it in ink. So all of the pages are covered, and he is trying to change whatever world you came from to where the ideas you've had are not possible because the pages are already filled. That's his thought process. I will give you that.
Yeah, just like
Outside
so
of
that
this?
I can qualify what's happening in front of me.
Yeah. He's trying to fuck your plan. The plan that you've been thinking about for the last 2 months. All I need is ink, and I can write within the notaria, and I can make this absolute. He is aware of that thought and plan that you had. So now, to force your hand to make a decision, to make a choice, he's just gonna plunge the whole thing in ink.
I gotta roll something really quick. Arc.
Go for it.
So like Peter's jaw is locked, and he goes, I am better, and I'm going to smash the glass, the vase of ink.
What are you using to smash it?
I am going to, if I can't, because I just shattered the grid, if I cannot use any of my morphing grid powers,
yeah,
Peter is going to tackle the vase full of ink. He's going to throw himself through the vase.
Through the ink?
Yeah, he's going to, like, with everything he has, I am better. And he's going to basically dig his heel in and launch himself forward to basically try to disperse the ink by throwing his body through the glass vein.
I love it. What is your willpower defense?
My willpower is 14.
14. Okay. You charge this vase. Mordred has no idea what your plan is. At this point, has no idea. This is spur, instinctual response. As you shatter the vase and careen into the ground, this glass splintering across the floor, you can feel the fear in Mordred. Like it's tangibly in your body, his fear, before you can even see his face. The ink moves over your eyes.
Oh, fuck, I didn't think about that.
You tackled forward.
Yes, I did. I whole ass threw my face into this thing. Yeah.
The ink plunges through your eyes, your nose, mouth. You can feel this slick, warm liquid. Just, it is effusing itself to every bit of your anatomy that it is coming into contact with. And flash after flash of the first fight at the space between with Nikos as the Chimera. The first immediate pain-stricken aggression towards the first Necronites in that classroom and what they were doing and what they were causing. The idea that Schrodinger is here to stop you from becoming this monstrous, evil, overpowering being. It simply stops. There's a wave of calm that has not been to your mind since that first fight in the space between. There is a peace in your heart that you have not felt since you were a child. And you see this small child version of yourself sitting in an empty, white, infinite space with a piece of paper in front of him, a small red crayon, just drawing a night before he looks up at you. You're who I'm gonna be.
Yeah. We're gonna be a hero.
Are we gonna save people or are we gonna teach them?
Hopefully both.
Oh, we could do both.
Yeah.
He holds a little crayon. He holds the crayon up to you.
I take it.
Holds the paper up. Anything that's got to change? And you could see there's like one little black hole in the center of it.
I think I like all red. What do you think? Yeah. And Peter reaches out and he colors in that black spot. And hands the crayon back to the kid version of himself.
As you hand the crayon back, you see your mom's hand next to yours. You see your dad's hand next to yours. Dior's, Marcia's, Frankie's, Gina's, all handing that small red crayon back to the young Peter. You understand now that the best way to beat this ongoing, unnecessary war, even though it's not yours, it's not anybody's, is if those who are involved with it have to be involved with it, we're going to make sure that they're the strongest they could ever fucking be. You now command the space in between. And you begin to see what looks to be a schoolhouse starting to form inside of it. If other rangers have to come after you, before they even put their hand on a morpher or accept any responsibility, I'm going to show them the best way to do this, the right way to do this, so that the person who has to come after them doesn't have to feel alone, doesn't have to feel unprepared, doesn't have to feel like everything that they're fighting against is exactly that. They're fighting against it. A wave, a wall, an onslaught, a downpour, where now they can stand against it. They can force it back. They will know how to be rangers before they have to be rangers. Because if this is predetermined, I'll find them. I'll find them and I'll teach them. And I'll show them that you can do this, and it's gonna suck. It's gonna be the hardest thing you have to do. But I'm gonna make sure you have every tool you need before you say those 3 words for the first time. As you hear Mordred screaming, that was the last of the ink. You really know how to just throw things right on their fucking head, don't you?
Am I back in reality now?
Yeah.
I think Peter's gonna kind of put like one hand down and then another hand down, and he's gonna push himself to his feet. Is he still coated in ink?
No. You have absorbed every bit of the ink that was within that vase.
I told you. I'm better. And I'm gonna attempt to, like, I don't know if I don't necessarily want to shatter the grid, but I want to just strike him in the chest with the force of what I now have.
Okay. For that, just give me a power weapon roll.
Okay.
Just like you would if you were using a power weapon in and of itself.
Yeah.
Just give me that roll.
That is a 23.
Total?
Yes, 23 total. Yeah.
Did you roll as if you were specialized? Because you are specialized in power
Oh,
weapons.
okay. Then it would be
You roll all of those dice plus the D20.
Okay. Yeah, see, this is Alec continuing to not play this game correctly. Okay, that is like that's nearly a 40. As I go, I am better, and I'm just gonna like strike him square in the chest.
You strike, and you can see the chimeric breastplate that he is wearing buckles for the first time. And you see half of his face like light up as you then see the darkened magma, sulfuric brimstone skin underneath show. The singular horn coming off, the reddened eye. Nevertheless, I'll see you then.
See you then.
Wherever you're from.
I hope you enjoy looking up at me. You're back. He vanishes.
The book is still there. The book is still in the room.
I'll take the
Your
book.
mother's still beating at the door on the outside.
I open the book. And I think I look at it for a long time. And I look at the door. And Peter, with his finger, begins to write.
What do you write?
This is such a big ask of what exactly I write, because I feel like is this like the wish spell? If I'm not specific, is this gonna fuck me?
You have already decided to write.
Yes. Okay.
And what you write takes immediate effect. What do you write?
I think he thumbs to like a farther page in the back where he begins to write. And writes, the Arcaknights of the future. Whatever year. Is it 2023?
Yeah.
The Arcaknights of of 2023. They will have the means to save everyone.
Period.
Comma. And if it would come to pass that the Red Ranger would fall to darkness, they will have the means to seal him forever. Period.
You watch this sentence take hold at the last few pages of the Notaria. When that pain comes back, it's like your sternum is trying to point horizontally to the ground. It is like wrenching itself up. As you look down, you can see a handle coming from your chest.
Should not think this is normal. I grab the handle and I draw whatever it is from my stomach.
At first, Caliburn. That's a bit normal. We've done this way too many times.
Right.
And it's as the handle rotates in your hand and you see the other side of it. Excalibur.
Like on one side it's Caliburn, and one side is Excalibur. Kind of give it a wave. Can I pull it in two?
As you go to swap it between hands, it's like as it rolls, Excalibur is in this hand now, and Caliburn is in this one. Like it didn't separate, it just like duplicated over, and both are in each hand.
Well, that's awesome.
You hear the blades speak. To the true protector of the weave, we grant you your place back in time, so that your words may live true on what was written within the notaria. And they pull your hands towards those pedestals in the center of the room. The blades like almost bending, like pulling you towards it, sink the tips into the pedestals, and you can hear them begin to vibrate and hum. This singing chorus and frequency of laughter and screams, cries, love, fear, as the stone door begins to move away. You see Merlin and your mother. Your mother is now holding half of Excalibur. You can see it's like almost sheared perfectly down the middle as she sees you standing with both the swords in the pedestals.
I'm gonna be okay, Mom. I can do this. I'm gonna make you proud.
Then take everything I've got with you. And she tosses the other half of Excalibur towards you as it connects with the half you have in there. You feel that offset, that I'm either one step behind or one step too far forward, as the Arcaknight form on you shifts again. No longer Draconic Paladin. No longer Oathbreaker. But the Arthurian Paladin, Red Arcaknight. The silvers and golds moving up, accenting the large draconic wings pulling off of the helmet. Both Caliburn and Excalibur in your hands, and the spell tome hanging in the center of your chest. As you appear in the courtyard of Castle Camelot, green and black storm clouds overhead, you can see the other three. Schrodinger's on his ass, like 20 feet away from you. Looks like he fell off of a balcony and like landed on his back about 20 feet away from you. Gina, Marcia, Dior are all standing there as you are now in this brand new form.
So what did I miss?
As all of the doors on the side walls of the courtyard of Camelot burst open, clouds of black smoke, these demonic like faces pulled through them, a face you now recognize and are aware of. Moving between all of that pours into the center space as Dior says, I'm glad you're back, brother. There's a lot more we got to get through.
Then we'll do it together. As I kind of roll Caliburn and Excalibur in my hand and take a fighting position.
And that is where we end the Arthurian paradox.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it was so damn good. It was great.
I'm so glad. I've been wanting you to have that conversation with Mordred for so long.
That motherfucker. God damn. All right, well, Ark, why don't you tell the people who you are, where they can find you, where they can find us next.
How's it going, everybody? I am Ark, Gridmaster Ark, or Arclight Court all over the internet. You could find me, Alec, and the rest of our cast of Rangers every second and fourth Monday on the initiative order at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find me all over the internet doing all sorts of fun stuff with all of these wonderful people and everybody in chat, but mainly Power Rangers. I am working to be the number one most requested, most well-known grid master there is.
He deserves it.
But thank you for the opportunity to get this little side chapter, but very important chapter told for your character.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all, gang, for joining us for this very special Saturday one-shot stream. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Ark, for running this. We will be back with streams. I think I'll stream tomorrow. I'm not sure. I might stream later tonight. Who really knows? But for sure, I'll be back next week over on Initiative Order on Monday. Make sure so you can see what happens after I take on this smoky motherfucker back with my team. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah. You have a great rest of your day, and we will see you all next time. And remember, Ark, hit him with it.
It's Monday. It's morphin' time.
Damn right. We'll see you all later.